welcome to Heart Center Connection. It's so great to have you back here. The Heart Center is a loving community where you get to share your gifts and your challenges with total freedom and total authenticity. This is a space where you don't have to hold back and you're welcome exactly as you are. I'm Chloe, and I'm so happy to have you here again. Each week, we open a little doorway back into the wisdom of our hearts. Tonight, we'll explore how stress shows up in patterns of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and how the ABCDE framework allows us to gently shift from reactivity and move smoothly into harmony. Together, we'll practice returning back into love, to presence, and to deepen the wisdom within. And now it's my joy to introduce Winnie Chen Wang, the co-founder of the Heart Center. She's a licensed acupuncturist and spiritual teacher. Winnie blends traditional Chinese medicine, Tao healing, and modern science to guide people from fear and trauma into freedom and love.
Aww.
Please join me in welcoming Winnie.
Woo! Okay, I have to clap for Chloe because isn't she awesome? Yes, yes. And from my heart to yours, I want to take a moment to bow and to honor for whatever it is that you went through today and this week. In fact, this lifetime. In fact, some of what we're experiencing actually come from our ancestors. Jay, if you can give me a pen, please.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so just a quick review. So last week's episode, if you missed it, go back and watch it. We talked about that the most typical stress response is fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Fight is we want to assign blame to somebody. Okay, whether you want to blame the government, blame your parents, or blame yourself. What did they do wrong? What did I do wrong? Flight is checking out, avoiding. Oh, there's so much pain here. I don't want to be here. I'm going to run away right now. Okay. Freeze is literally like a block of ice. I'm just frozen. I don't know. What do I do now? And fun is where I go into people pleasing. What can I do to fix, to make the situation better? Now, tonight's topic is related to overthinking. Because you might notice the pattern that fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Where does it come from? It comes from overthinking. Right? It comes from who can I blame? You or me? It comes from I don't like it right now. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's too itchy. It's too hungry. It's too tired. Right? Notice I don't want to be here because I'm assigning labels and values to my current experience. And freeze is like, I'm stuck in decision paralysis. Oh, wait, if I do A, then A can go wrong. If I do B, then B can go wrong. oh my God, should I go to the beach or go to the mountain? If I go in the ocean, I can be bitten by a shark and I can get sunburned. And if I go into the mountains, I could be bitten by a snake or get mosquito bites. Right? So if I focus on the negative, then I could feel frozen. I turn going to the beach or to the mountain into an activity of great danger. That's why I freeze.
Mm.
And finally, fawn is taking too much responsibility. I'm afraid that you won't love me, so I gotta do more. I gotta talk more. I gotta fix more. I gotta produce more. I gotta make more money. I gotta gain more followers so that maybe you will like me more. So notice, more.
Mm.
Right? Today, with AI, everyone is an expert. Isn't it true? Suddenly, everyone can go on social media and be an expert at something. Everyone can create online courses, apps. There is more and more and more things being born every day. Have you mastered how to turn off your brain? Allow yourself to go into total emptiness. I'll tell you something. What AI can do is make your mind busy. What AI can do is multiply thoughts, actions. What AI cannot do is the inside job. The inside job of loving yourself. Of finding peace with the way the world is. With finding joy in every breath. With finding compassion for the suffering of you and your ancestors. So there's a great difference between intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence can be expressed in English, in Chinese. How to make a tiramisu. How to go live on Facebook. Questions that you can type into the AI. Answers that you can read from a book. That's intelligence. Wisdom is different than intelligence. Wisdom is that which is eternal and does not change. It's not like, okay, in 2025, this is how you do business. In 2027, this is how you do business. No, wisdom does not change across time and space. Wisdom doesn't change whether you are Christian or Taoist or Buddhist or Hindu. Wisdom is that which can only be cultivated with discipline. I can tell you right now, my beloved teacher, Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha, he's trained in Western medicine, Chinese medicine, and spiritual medicine. I follow him because all of his techniques work. Like literally, last week, I had a client in Singapore. She had pain in the neck. C5, C6, pinching nerve, 10 out of 10. She said, oh my God, Winnie, I told my daughter it's so much pain, it's like worse than childbirth. And I'm very grateful to Master Sha for teaching me how to get guidance from the invisible realm. And I heard very clearly 3 sessions. So she came, 3 days, 3 sessions. What's really funny is about 15 minutes before the 4th session, she suddenly discovered she has no pain. Right, so how do you explain that she lives in Singapore and she goes on Zoom 3 days in a row and the pain is gone? I tell you something. This is something that AI cannot replace. It's called soul power. It's called soul communication. It's called open spiritual channel. So if you're smart, invest in opening your spiritual channel today. If you're smart, start cultivating the highest power and wisdom, because that is what will allow you not to survive, but flourish in the age of AI. What is the 1 sentence secret? The 1 sentence secret is that all the dharmas lead to stillness. That means it doesn't matter if you practice yoga, if you read the Bible, if you do Buddhist, Taoist, shamanic, if you write calligraphy, if you write on a journal, if you like to dance, you like to sing, you like to tell stories. All the dharmas lead to the same place, which is stillness. In the Bible, it says, be still and know that I am God. So I ask you this, what percentage of humanity you think can get still on the drop of a dime? Bam, I'm there. How many people can do that? Okay, what percentage of people what percentage of people have the discipline to say, oh, turn off the brain and go into no more thoughts? Okay, let's suppose you do have cultivate the ability, but even if you know how to drop into emptiness, sometimes the ego doesn't want you to go into emptiness. The ego likes to win. The ego wants to sound smart. Not naming any names here in the audience. If you've ever cut off somebody in the middle of a sentence, if you've ever talked over somebody, if you've ever had the urgency to talk over somebody, to fix someone, to tell them, oh, I know better. Listen, I gotta tell you what I know. That is evidence that you haven't cultivated stillness. Not pointing any fingers at anyone. So I want to invite community sharing because you are the reason why this exists. You are the reason why we get together every Wednesday night. So I want to hear from you. How has overthinking shown up in your life? How has that created blockages either in the physical pain or block you from finding the man or the woman of your dreams, or block you from the career or all the money that you want to make? How has overthinking, telling yourself that you're not good enough, or telling yourself I don't have time, or I'm too tired, or my finances are tight, like this is the time to take responsibility of how your mind has blocked you from your dreams. Yes, I see that Jay is ready to jump in, so.
Anyone else like to share?
You go first.
There's someone online. Go ahead, Kel.
Kel says, giving my body pain.
Sorry.
You're good. Kel says, giving my body pain, and it made me have mood swings, and I live in fear. I used to be more positive and ready to get back there more and more. So, seems like when you feel the blockages, it hurts your body. You start to feel pain. It changes how your body is functioning. He adds that it happens when he changed his diet to veganism.
Interesting. You want to speak to that?
And then also adds their own comment saying that it has caused lymphatic blockages and difficulty in releasing stress. I see that, when we have this, just this blockage in achieving what we want to go towards, our dreams, and we have this mental, either conscious, subconscious, unconscious belief that we can't get there in our own power that we have right now. It manifests in pain, discomfort, illness in our bodies. Well, thank you for sharing, both of you. Here's Jay to add on some more tidbits.
Hi, everyone. Really, really glad to be here. I'm Jay Dubois, and I am a professor and expert on relationships. And, you know, this topic of overthinking is very close to home for me because I was trained to overthink. I get paid to overthink. And it was something that my dad would point out to me when I was growing up. Oh, you think too much. You're overly analytical, blah, blah, blah. And so I learned to make it work for me. I learned to make it work for my work. And it does work at a university. But it gets in the way of my life in a number of different ways. And Kel, thank you for sharing about your pain, the physical pain that you have, because of course this is one of the manifestations that we get. And, you know, in Chinese medicine terms, overthinking engages our spleen and creates a lot of phlegm. And so, if you think about it, phlegm serves as a coagulating agent. It slows things down. It's meant to catch the germs, I suppose, and expel them. But it creates this clogging, right? And this clogging manifests in phlegm, but it also manifests in blockages in other areas, in other clogs in our lives. One of the ways that it's manifested for me a lot is with my bank account and also with my relationships, right? Because it builds up in these ways that you kind of hardly see. And then before you know it, you've got big problems in your life. Maybe in a relationship, you know, I've been through a divorce, maybe in, you know, a bank account, or maybe in your body. Kel says, I'm dealing with pain right now under my stomach by the liver. Wow, how you say that? I don't know from the capsules I took, overthinking, etc. Okay, thank you for sharing, Kel. I appreciate that. Because, of course, it could, you know, I'm sure it's a combination, right? We're of course not doctors, and I can't, you know, diagnose whether you've had some negative reaction to medicine, but certainly in our overthinking, we overtake, we overprescribe, we try to, you know, and especially I notice as a man, I wasn't taught how to deal with my emotions, how to process my emotions, and so they have a tendency to get out of control before I even know what's going on. And then I don't even know what's going on, right? And things just go down. And so I'm really glad for this topic, and I'm really looking forward to the solution, which I know Winnie is going to offer. But I want to give anybody else who wants to come and share an opportunity, because it is through sharing that we get to really put our piece, what's coming up for us on the table, and have that transformed. That is what we're about here. We're not just about talking about it. And, you know, this is the difference between therapy, talk therapy, and what we do here. In talk therapy, we talk about it, we understand it, we sort of place it into conscious frame, but it ends up still in our bodies. It still ends up still affecting us. And what we do here is we transform it at the soul level, at a higher level, so that manifests in all aspects of our lives. So I'd love for Winnie to come up and talk about the ABCDE method that she learned from her teacher, Dr. Raven Lee.
Would you like to flip the chart and do law of Jing since you talked about soul level?
Oh, sure. So, in case you didn't hear, online, Winnie invited me to talk about this before she comes on, because it's directly related to what I was talking about, and it leads well into what she will talk about. So, In ancient Chinese book called The Yellow Emperor's Classic, which is about, is it 2000 BC? Or is it 2,000 years old? Anyway, at least 2,000-year-old book, lays down the wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine and all of the knowledge. It's a very comprehensive book, and in it, it talks about the law of Shen Qi Jing. So this is ancient Chinese wisdom, right? And so Shen is this Chinese concept that breaks down into soul, heart, and mind, right? So it is these sort of unseen, immaterial components that we often call mind, but it also includes our soul and our heart. And I'll get to more in a moment about how these are different from each other, how they relate. So the Shen level is the spirit level, the soul level, the mind level, right? The Qi level is the energy level. And of course, we all know about Qi through our interaction with Chinese culture, through martial arts. And of course, acupuncture is moving the energy, right? Why does it want to move the energy? Because energy controls matter. So notice there's a hierarchy here. Qi is above Jing. Jing is matter. It's the blood in our body. It's our bones, our teeth, our hair, our skin, all of the material, right? So we put in acupuncture needles to help the matter change by changing the energy flow, right? So similarly, what we're doing here is we are adding we are transforming at the soul level so that it manifests all the way down through the chain into the matter level, right? So in Tao Science, which is a book by Dr. Rulin Shu and Master Sha, they talk about the Shen Qi Jing, the soul, heart, mind, energy, matter, as information, in terms of information, right? So when you think about all of these blockages, all these things that happen, all these negative things that happen in our lives, we can think about these as negative information. And when we have an amazing, wonderful thing happen, when we have a big breakthrough in our lives, when we fall in love, when we're just feeling lovely and beautiful, right? That is positive information. So we get negative or positive information first at the soul level. And so if we get positive information, then the soul passes it down to the heart. Now, the soul acts as the warehouse of information. It's the container. It's where all this information is, right? The heart receives this information and passes it on to the rest of the body. So your heart the rest of the layers, right? To the mind, energy, and matter layers. So your heart needs to be clear in order for your soul, for the information that comes in at the soul level to pass down into the matter level. And this is something this heart clearing is something that comes up a lot, because as Winnie's put here, the soul, because it's the receiver, it needs to be open and clear in order for us to receive all of the information that's coming down at the highest level. So when we receive positive information and our heart is open, then we receive all of it, right? But when our heart is closed, then if we feel like, oh, I don't trust this, I don't believe this, I'm not sure about this, all of these close our heart a little more, a little more, a little more, and we receive less and less of this information at the soul level. Now, this is one thing when I tell you something, but it's another thing entirely if your heart is close to you, right? So, because this can happen, if your heart is closed, you can receive your own positive information and it never passes down into your life if you keep yourself closed off to it. So, the next level is the mind. The mind processes the information and tells the energy and the body what to do, right? So the energy is the action. So the information gets processed and then put into action, at the energy level, and then the transformation actually happens at the material level. So that's how this system works. So the way you might think of it is, you're very familiar with the idea of mind over matter, right? And the idea here is your brain, like what you know, rules what your body will do, right? And you experience this through discipline, for example, right? If you set your alarm 6 a.m., wake up, work out, right? Even though the alarm goes off and you don't want to get out of bed, you still get out of bed because you want that body, you want that health, right? So that is mind over matter. What we're talking about here is soul over matter, right? Because there, as you can see from this chart, there's layers above the mind level. So when we talk about manifestation, what often happens is people chant. People say positive, not necessarily chanting, but they repeat positive affirmations, right? I'm going to manifest $1 million. I'm going to manifest $1 million. I'm going to manifest $1 million. I'm going to manifest $1 million today, right? Well, that's great. It's good. Not saying you shouldn't do it, but how often have you done this and it didn't work? Excuse me. Well, the reason is, what we're talking about here is, the reason is that there's something going on at this level, at the level above your mind. And so the information is not able to pass through the rest of the system because there's a blockage above the level of the mind. So rather than mind over matter, this is a soul over matter system that we're talking about here. Anything else that you'd like to add, Winnie?
Well, I am very grateful. So I want to tell a secret about this chart. Look how mind is not the boss. Above mind sits the heart. Above heart sits the soul. Let that sink in. I want to tell you a secret about how I can stop sinking. Is that I give myself what is called a soul order. Is there the purple book here? Okay. If someone can locate, there's a book called Power of Soul.
I get it. You keep talking.
It talks about the soul order. So I can give myself a soul order and achieve stillness. And so let me explain a little bit about the ABCDE method. So A, most people can do. A is aware. Oh, I have fear. B is breath. Now, a lot of people know mindfulness teaching. Maybe they inhale and exhale. They've done yoga. But here's a secret, is that when we do acupuncture, walking, yoga, dancing, and we're just moving energy. So what that means is, okay, if I go to the beach today, I feel great today, but then tomorrow I can overthink again. I go to yoga today, I feel great for 2 hours while I'm on the mat. And then one email, one text message, I go back to overthinking. Right? So you see, a lot of the methods that we use, such as going to the beach, I go to the beach this morning, this afternoon, I go back to overthinking already. So B is good. B is breath, right? It helps us calm and regulate the nervous system temporarily. So C is compassionate witness. So what does it mean to be witness is to create space between me and this person who is experiencing fear. So the way I like to explain this is like this. Imagine that you just had a car accident and you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. What do I do? I can't afford to have a car accident right now. I'm on the way to XYZ event and I don't have money to fix the car right now. Aha, aware. B, breath. What does it mean to be compassionate witness? Is that I am not the person who just had a car accident. I am the person who is sitting in the movie theater with, I like to think, cushy velvet seats. And I'm watching a movie of someone who just had a car accident, who's freaking out about, I'm going to be late to my appointment, and how am I going to pay for this car? So why is it important to create a distance between I am not the person who had a car accident, I'm the observer with ease. I'm the one that's sitting in the cushy movie theater chair. And the person who had the car crash, that's playing in the movie screen. Why is this important? To create the separation between the observer and this disaster. Why? Because all of us have two parts. There's the part that is the soul, that is eternal, beyond time and space. That is the observer. And then there's a part of us that just got into a car accident. That's freaking out. Oh my God, what do I do now? Oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? Oh my God, I'm going to be late to the appointment. I promised my girlfriend I'm going to take her out on a date, but now I'm in a car accident. Yeah. Okay. When we go to the movie theater, there the movie starts, the movie ends. And guess what? The next movie comes. The next movie ends. Guess what? The next movie comes. The next movie ends. What is the true meaning? The true meaning is that there's a part of us that's temporary, right? This hair is temporary. Okay, this hand is temporary. This dress is temporary. Right now, this lifetime, I am Asian, female. I am an acupuncturist. This is the temporary. This is the movie, the featured movie that I am watching. This episode, this whole Facebook experience, this car that you're driving, it is a temporary experience. Now, if you get over attached to the temporary experience, then what happens is what? You manifest pain in your body. You manifest no boyfriend, no girlfriend. You manifest no money in your bank account. Why? Because you didn't know that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, you're not your body. The things that you are attached to is the temporary movie that happens to be flashing on the screen right now. The more you are rooted in your soul, in your observer, the more ease, the more empty, the more infinite. Okay, so C is compassionate witness, which is I am not the fear, I am not the body pain, I am not the bank account, I am not the lack of girlfriend, boyfriend, I am just the observer of this temporary phenomenon. And you know how temporary this is? Sunrise is followed by sunset, sunset is followed by sunrise, sunrise is followed by sunset. This temporary thing. When what happened we go into overthinking is what? When we go into overthinking, we're stuck at 3 a.m. We're stuck in eternal darkness. Who wants to get stuck in eternal darkness? Nobody. Thank you. That's why D is dialogue within. I'm going to draw you a picture because most people get stuck right here. All right. So we just said A is aware. Okay, aware of your thoughts and feelings. Okay, B is breath. Okay, most people know this. C is compassionate witness. And again, witness means observe with space. Oh, spaciousness. How do I spell that?
SPA
Uh-huh.
CIOUSNESS.
Okay, this is key. Observe with spaciousness, which is I am not the person having fear. I'm not the person having this pain. I'm the observer. All right, now the gold coin moment is D, is dialogue within. And what is dialogue within? So we have some people here in the audience who have taken transformation training. This is really key because you give yourself option A and option B. Option A is I'm a victim. Option B is I am the source. Which one are you going to choose? Because if you want to suck, you can. If you want to be really badass, powerful, you can also. You choose what you choose to feed your thoughts. Is what you manifest. Right? So, okay, so by the way, this observe, who's observing is the soul. What is the compassion? That's the heart. Now, this is the mind.
Oh, is there an E? No.
Oh, where?
Yes, after. Yes.
After?
ABCDE. Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you so much for asking. Mind is what conversation am I going to choose? And by the way, this is when you understand this is the 5%, which is the conscious. And this is the 95% subconscious. So this part is formed between 0 and 7. Not that we're blaming our parents. No, we don't do that. But we have compassion for why we are hardwired to be a victim. We are hardwired for grief, for fear. Why? Because if you happen to have a parent who did not teach you about soul and did not teach you about heart, So you think that the mind is the boss, which is why you go into overthinking. Because when you only have mind as the boss, then you are perpetually defensive. You are looking at who's the bully, who is the rescuer. Rescuer. Who is the bully, who is the victim, and who's the rescuer. You gotta always analyze who's gonna take advantage of me now. And you know what? I'm gonna attack people before they attack me. Not looking any direction at all.
I checked myself.
So actually, it doesn't matter if you experience anger or fear or grief. Same thing. You are here. You chose A. You chose victim. B is source. What does that mean? It means you understand that you are eternal. This is the temporary. And you are stuck. Okay? So here, this is the possible outcome. Stuck. This is free. So which one are you gonna choose? All right, and then we ask what is E. So E is effective and empathic. Oops, I'm sorry if I misspell. Empathic. Help me out.
ENPATHIC.
Okay. All right, you can see that English is not my first language. Okay, empathic response. Oh, by the way, this is by Dr. Raven Lee. You can buy her book.
Unbinding the soul.
So most people, I have fear. I have lower back pain. And maybe they go to yoga. Maybe they know Reiki. Maybe they know mindfulness meditation. They know how to breathe. How good are people at being the observer with compassion of their suffering, or their brother's suffering, or their mother's suffering, or their sister's suffering? Right, so earlier I gave this analogy. If my family member is in the sea of suffering, if I go into grief, I just jump into the water and join them in the sea of suffering. I must find a way to become the observer, which means I'm flying the helicopter, I'm throwing a rope. And I don't get to be attached to whether my family member take the rope or not, because if I allow myself to have grief that my family members do not want to take the rope, I have just fallen into A. To stay as the soul, the observer, I choose B, the flying the helicopter, which is, if you take my hand, I am free. If you don't take my hand, I am also free. Okay, so perfect. Thank you so much. And
Carol? But you for some reason.
okay, so we will do Shichin Huzuo breath. So our demo this evening is Kel, and so if the team, hello, and An and Sylvia and Ron, just want to say hello to you guys as we set up the Zoom so that we can feature Kel and Winnie at the same time. So we're going to do 吸清呼浊 breath. 吸 means inhale. 清 means the cleanness. 呼 means exhale. 浊 means the darkness, the heaviness, the turbid. So behind me, there is the Penda Dao calligraphy light bulb. Dao is the ultimate source and creator. Dao cannot be seen and touched. So how can we access the soul and clear the darkness, the blockages at the soul level? So Master Sha, through many years of cultivation and through a very special Taoist lineage, he has a special ability that when he connects to the source, he create a portal. So like YouTube can live stream a video, these Tao calligraphy can live stream the source highest 10 attributes known as the 10 Da. And they are the greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, greatest light, greatest humility, greatest harmony, greatest flourishing, greatest gratitude, greatest flourishing, and greatest enlightenment.
Greatest service and greatest enlightenment. Yes.
Can you fix the gratitude?
Yes, but
Okay, so I am going to offer our beloved Kel an experience to remove the blockages as appropriate. So what I'm sensing is that the blockages is at the throat and it is also at the root. Why is it at the throat? It means that he is actually, if I may, hiding from his service. So Master Sha teach that the throat chakra is for service. To chant and to meditate is to serve. To bless others is to serve. He has a fear of speaking, of sharing. So part of the overthinking is, oh my God, can I say this? Can I not say this? Can I do this? Can I not do this? And it's blocking his service. And also he has blockage in what we call the root chakra because he doesn't feel safe. He doesn't feel safe to speak out. And I'm hearing that this comes from his mother's side. So as again I said, right, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, meaning when we have negative information, a lot of the times it comes from our parents. And in this case, our beloved Kel has inherited some thoughts from his mother. But it's okay because this is like going through a car wash, okay? So we take a downlight shower, and, you know, this is what I say, okay? Open your heart totally. Because if your heart is totally open, who knows? Maybe one session you can have a very, very clean car. But then, you know, if you're like, oh, I don't know if this is real. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, my heart is partially closed. Then you go through the same car wash, you get less. Okay, so I wish for you to open your heart totally to the most miraculous transformation there ever was. Okay, so let's get into condition. Dear Divine Tao Source, the countless spiritual fathers and mothers in all layers of heaven. Dear the sun, the moon, Mother Earth, countless stars, planets, galaxies, and universes. Silently say your name 3 times. Please heal me from overthinking as appropriate. Okay, so the portal is now open. So inhale, visualize golden light coming into your throat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant, heal me. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Heal me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heal me. 5. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Hail me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hail me. How. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. So I'm deeply moved by that experience. Curious what Kel experienced and if Jay can share a couple words. Because it was something very interesting happened to me. And as maybe you have observed, the second I share, okay, the blockage is at the throat and the first chakra. And when I inhale the first breath, immediately I start coughing. And what is the true meaning? The true meaning is every week that I show up to do this, I'm being healed in addition to you are being healed, because when I am the channel, the healing has to come to my throat before it's just like, and that's why I'm so blessed and honored to do this every day, every week, every month. Because the more I do it, the better it is for me and the better it is for you and the better it is for humanity. So the first thing that happened was my throat got healed, which is wonderful. And then there was a silent blessing part, which was really, when I'm silent, that's when it's even more powerful, I think. I just suddenly felt, we talk about the root chakra, right? No matter where I am, no matter who I'm with, and no matter what I'm doing, I'm always safe. I'm always protected. Why? Because who I am is the yuan-shen, is the original soul. My soul is protecting me. My soul is responsible for putting me in the right place, right people, right activity. So every day that I put myself into alignment with my source, option B, then I don't need to think anymore. Because I'm always safe when I am in alignment. And so I just saw how divinely protected and safe I was. And I kid you not, one time I was in a private consult, my client brought a dog, and my client had anger issues, and the dog went through abuse. And for some reason, my client got really excited. He was passionate, sharing about something. And the dog got suddenly riled up, and he leapt up, he opened his mouth, and he bit my hand. And I remember I screamed. The dog opened the jaw, and there were teeth marks, deep in my hand. However, not a single drop of blood or puncture happened in my hand. And it's like this is how powerful it is. If God did not give permission for the dog to draw one drop of blood from me when I'm channeling, I am protected. Right? God, Jesus says this in the Bible. It's if one drop of blood comes out of me, it's because God's will, God wants me, God agreed, allowed blood to come out of Jesus, right? So it's just you know what? If God wants me to die, I'm going to die tomorrow, okay? If God wants me to live, I'm going to live. So why do I have to go into overthinking, right? If God says, hey, when it's time for you to go back to heaven, okay, I'm going, right? If God wants me back, nothing is going to stop God from taking my life away. Overthinking is not going to prevent me from going back to heaven tomorrow. God says, Winnie, your time's up. Right? And then, if God wants me to live because God says, Winnie, you have tasks that you have not finished. I gave you job ABCDE and you have not done ABCDE. So finish your job before you come back. Right? So either God wants me to live another day because I'm still in service of humanity. I'm still useful. God has a job for me to do. Or God says, okay, your job is done, then go back. Come home for dinner. Okay, I always think about going back to heaven as God says, Winnie, ice cream is ready, or like, hot dog is ready. And I'm like, okay, God's calling me back for Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm going to be so excited when God calls me back. Okay, so Jay, when you come, Kel, say a couple words.
All right, I really want to hear from you, Kel, about your experience of that. But I just want to share what I saw. I have third eye vision, and when Winnie was giving the blessing, what became clear to me shortly after the blessing began was that this wasn't just Kel. This was your ancestral lineage. So I started to see all of these women in your lineage going backward. And I saw this one, and then it became this one very big, like sort of big, as in tall, and like very big presence, proud, with a bright scarf on her head. And she said, Oshun, which is one of the Santorian divinities. So, for your reference, you might want to, I don't know what your connection is with this, or, perhaps you want to connect with this.
It's pretty funny why you said that.
So Kel, why don't you come on and share?
And turn up the volume.
Yeah, and we're just working on the tech on our end here. Chloe, let me know when you're ready, and I'll cue Kel. All right, go ahead, Kel. Thank you.
No, I was saying I appreciate that. It's funny because I'm in a class and I'm actually sitting right here by my ancestral altar.
Wow.
I'm sitting right here by the altar because it's in my room. And I actually have been working on building stronger relationships with them and just have to learn to be more obedient because they gave me a certain diet. And I'm vegan. I know they told me to eat fish, and I haven't really went to that source. So it's kind of interesting how you was talking about Oshun. So it's pretty interesting. So that it makes me feel like they appreciate what I'm doing more and more. So it makes me feel like they are understanding the obedience.
Yeah. And if I may, I have often in my spiritual history been guided to eat or not eat certain foods, and it's always optional, right? But here's the thing: when you follow the guidance, it really creates a new dimension in your relationship with your guides. So if you can, you have options here, right? You can either eat fish, which is an option, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm not going to try to convince you of it. But the other option is to negotiate with your guides. This is something that Winnie often does. I don't know if you want to talk about it for a second, because this is, we think that when God tells us something, that's it. That's the law. And sometimes it is, and we need to follow it. But often we can negotiate. And this is something that Winnie likes to do, so I wanted to bring her on and talk about this.
Yes, thank you so much for the topic of obedience. It's one of my pride to share. So it's kind of like this. You are learning how to not poop in your diaper. And God said, Kel, stop pooping in the diaper. The potty's over there. Go potty in the potty. But God understands that you can't instantaneously poop accurately in the potty every time, right? Like it might be 3 months or 6 month training period until you successfully stop wearing diaper. And then, you know, if in the middle of the night you peed accidentally on your bed, God's not gonna be like, what's wrong with you? How come you are so stupid? Why did you pee in the bed? Why did you miss that there's a little bit of poop on the toilet seat? Why did you do that? No, God doesn't do that. God's like, oh, come here, baby, come here, baby. Let me wipe your butt. Okay, like, oh, you pooped in the wrong spot. Oh, okay, try again next time. God said, oh, okay, good attempt, good attempt. You know, last week you peed in your bed 5 times. This week you peed in your bed only 2 times. Good job. Right? So we need to understand the meaning of obedience. It's like, okay, I'm here. I want to do 50 push-ups. God doesn't say, when you do 50 push-ups tomorrow. God says, I would like you to do 50 push-ups. And please try to do 50 push-ups. 50 push-ups is really an admirable goal for you. But forgiveness and mercy is part of hallelujah. It's part of God's gift. Right? So every time I poop in the diaper, I just say, oh God, I'm sorry I pooped in the diaper again this week, but I really honestly tried my best. And I'm really good at asking and receiving God's forgiveness. And you know what? Whatever God wants you to do, it doesn't mean snap do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's like, this is the thing. It's like I think a lot of people are allergic to the word obedience, or they get scared about, and then they have shame. They're like, oh no, God told me to fast, or God told me to be vegan, I couldn't do it. And that's the other thing.
Yeah, God told him to eat fish. He's vegan.
So a lot of the times we came out of certain spiritual tradition which doesn't believe in eating meat or animal products. And there are many different reasons why people do it. The number one most important thing is to have no attachment. Because, you know, Jesus drank wine, Jesus ate lamb, Buddha ate fish too. You know, Buddha begged, knocking door to door, hey, do you have food? Do you have food? Do you have food? It didn't matter if people gave him rotten food. It didn't matter if people barfed into the bowl. It didn't matter if people put spoiled, rotten fish in the bowl. Buddha ate whatever was on the bowl. Buddha didn't say this is not organic vegan from Whole Foods, so therefore I don't eat it. Buddha said, I thank you very much. Even you give me rotten, spoiled fish, I'm going to enjoy it, and so grateful you gave me something to nourish my body. So the most important thing is actually to have no thinking. No good or bad about eating vegan or not vegan. No good or bad about eating fish or not fish. Just forget about it. You know, what I feel, and there's a reason why gratitude was crooked, because this is the message. It doesn't matter if you're eating vegan or cake or fish. The only thing that matters is whether you are in gratitude or you're not in gratitude. If you're in gratitude, you can drink wine. If you're in gratitude, you can drink coffee. If you're in gratitude, you can eat cake, you can eat fish, you can do be grateful for the abundance that God gave you. It's the people who think, tell, do. I tell you a secret. Do not think about is vegan good or bad. Do not think about fish, do I like it or don't like it. I'm not saying you should or should not eat fish or meat or vegan. I'm just saying every breath by gratitude, the end. So I'd like to encourage you to do this practice, which is spend 3 minutes giving thanks before every bite of food. Doesn't matter if you're eating an apple or a fish or chocolate cake. Just spend 3 minutes giving thanks to your ancestors.
Yes.
For your hair, for your heart, for your brain, for your spine, for your mouth, for your lips, your gums, your teeth, your hands. Your jazzy hands, says Chloe. Okay, yeah. So for your voice, for your laughter, for your song, for your vitality, for your joy, for your breath, for being alive. And I believe that the vibration of gratitude fundamentally is far more important than whether you're eating apple or fish.
Donuts.
Or donuts, yes. Okay. All right. So, Chloe or Jay, you guys want to make a couple announcements?
Okay. I would love to hear from Kel
Okay.
what experience you had of the blessing or anything tonight.
Oh yeah, I feel good. I feel lighter. I was just wondering, do I need to drink a lot of water after, sometimes, or to release it more, or just is there anything I have to do on my end after the blessing?
Oh, that's a great question. Very considerate. So there's nothing you have to do, right? But there are things that are always good to do, and there are things that we might do. Oh, Winnie's got something to say. Go ahead, Winnie.
What you should do is stop asking questions.
Oh.
If you're thirsty, drink. If you're hungry, eat. If you're tired, sleep. That's called follow, thou, flourish, okay? If I want chocolate cake, eat chocolate cake. If I'm tired, I go to sleep. If I'm thirsty, I drink water. The most important thing is to stop using the brain to solve your problems. The survivor in you is oh my God, how do I maximize this experience? Do I need to drink water? Give me a list. Give me a to-do list. Give me a checklist. No, it's just life is so simple. Oh my God, I'm so grateful I have a pillow. Okay, let me put my head on it. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I have running water. Oh my God, I'm so grateful my refrigerator is working. My Wi-Fi is working. Right? I have clean drinking water. Why am I going into should I drink water, should I not drink water? Just I'm so grateful for running water. The end. Okay, that's all.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. So, and if you want more of that, come back next week. That's my closing for tonight. So
yeah, I appreciate feedback.
Friends.
Yeah. So we do this every week here at Heart Center Connection. We provide a container where everyone can share their strength and their struggles with total freedom and authenticity. And we also offer every morning at 7 a.m. if you really want to transform your life quickly and powerfully, we offer a 7 a.m. practice every morning, this sacred breathing practice that you experienced tonight. You can have to start your day every day. That's 7 a.m. Pacific time, so depending where you are. You adjust accordingly. And you can connect with that morning practice at breathing.heartcenter.la. And Chloe's going to put that in the feed on Zoom, in the chat on Zoom. That is breathing.heartcenter.la. And if you're local and you want to join us in person for a full day retreat where we come together and we transform, we do shamanic journeying, we really do a deep dive to root into our self-love and to release all of our blockages to our flourishing, Winnie is dancing in the background, so we're going to dance you out tonight. Thank you for joining us at Heart Center Connection. We meet every week here at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you. Great to meet you, Kel. Thanks for joining us.
You too.
And thank you, everyone who joined us.
Thank you.
Love you all. Thank you all. Good night, everybody. Night, Anand. Good night, Sylvia. Good night, Ronald.
Good night, Mari.
Bye.
Recording